What's up, guys? Welcome to this video. My name is Victor. You might know me from YouTube. And today's video is going to tell you a discovery I made. I learned the whole message, the whole point of our awakening process that I suffered through for like 8 long, miserable years. I finally got the message. I finally found out what was actually being asked of me, being asked of you. And that is to come into alignment consistently with your true core self. It's really that simple and yet difficult for most people, including myself, to do. But about several months ago, I discovered a way, a system, a program, a routine that can predictably put me in this state of alignment. And in having that ability to put myself in this state of alignment, it's become more of a natural state of being. It just kind of gradually become my normal state. I embody a state of connectedness most of the time now. Whereas before, I would get glimpses of it. I would sometimes be in alignment, but most of the time, I would find myself off my path and in the ego land where I was no longer happy because I was aware. You become aware of your ego state, but you don't know how to get out of it. And as a result, you manifest all these symptoms associated, which is having a bad day, things going wrong for you, all these confusing emotions of fear and doubt and anxiety just plague you, and you're trapped in it. But by learning how to get into alignment and then choosing to do that every day, again, it's become my normal state of being. That's what Mood Shift is. That's what this program is, and that is exactly what this video is about. How you can become the person you know yourself to be. Not just once in a while, not just by happenstance, not just by accident, but you can choose it. Before I get into that, I'm going to go a little bit into my history. I don't really share too much about my personal experience with the awakening process. I sort of just allow what I feel needs to be said to everybody kind of come through me. But I want to give you a little bit of a background so you can see just how awesome this program and how life-changing it has been for me and can be for you as well. I forced the awakening upon myself with a psychedelic mushroom trip, and I was insistent upon prying open my third eye. And I got what I bargained for. I got what I asked for. My third eye exploded open with this massive and unpredictable Kundalini eruption, awakening that I brought on myself, having no idea what I was getting myself into. And because I forced it upon myself a little bit prematurely, before my body and mind were ready to be able to kind of frame what has happened and what is going to be happening to me as a result of this awakening process being turned on, I experienced all the symptoms that a lot of you guys go through on a higher degree. All the physical symptoms, I felt horribly and for a long time. All the emotional chaos, I was uncontrollable. I was ungrounded, unbalanced. I had absolutely no control over my actions that were just fueled with my extremely potent emotional states of being. Negative emotions, fear, doubt, anxiety, depression, sadness, worry, guilt, grief. All these emotions were just like magnified and trapped in my body, combined with these physical symptoms that literally had me in bed for days sometimes. They just completely floored me. And the only thing to keep me going was I would just sort of fall into these moments where it's like, there I am again, where I felt like myself. I felt like, wow, okay, I've made it. I would come into these states of like harmony and inner alignment, and I think, oh God, thank God that's done. And then I'd be so pissed off and sad when I'd lapse back into my ego state as I just described. And I went through this process for years. And it's a big problem because I wasn't just some loner. I had a wife, I had children, I had a personal training job where I had to meet with people who depended on me to help them every single day, about 5 days a week or so. And I felt like I couldn't be the father I wanted to be. I couldn't be the parent I wanted to be because I was so unstable. And I just could not control myself. I would have these outbursts. I would exhibit behaviors of like addiction and all these different things that I just could not control because I felt so consumed by my awful emotional states of being that were seeming just to kind of like take me over. It was more like I felt selfish going through this awakening. I wanted enlightenment. I had a sense that it was leading me somewhere, but I really felt like it was wrong because I was putting people I love in bad positions. I felt like I could not be a balanced, stable, sound-minded father. I could not be a consistently loving and connected husband. My personal training job was a joke. I had such bouts of mental confusion because all this Kundalini energy was just all over my body, all in my head. I felt like a 5-year-old. I felt like I was such a boring person to be around, so shy, so like anxious, that I knew like these clients of mine, they're not going to trust me when I tell them to do something. They're going to see me. I'm a mess. Why would they listen to me? And honestly, the only thing that would get me by is like the naive hope that it was just about to end. The ending was just around the corner. And that's how it always felt. It felt like every moment, all these like challenges felt like a climax. Felt like, okay, this is it. This is horrible. This is hard. I'm going to get through it. And then it's going to be sunny on the other side. But that never came. That like payoff never came. And not months, but years went by. And I was still just thrown around in this wild process. Having all the problems I just mentioned, not being a good father. Now my daughter was getting older. Now I had a son. My wife was like, get your shit together, buddy. I want my husband back. I had to provide for this big family I have. My wife, at one point, we have 3 kids now, so there's a 3rd kid on the way. I had all these bills. I felt incapable of really being a consistently providing husband, father, etc. And it was just, it kind of snowballed into this real dark night of the soul. It seemed like the whole process was one massive dark night of the soul, but it really got worse and worse and worse to an extent. But what was deceiving is I kept having these glimpses where I would sort of experience all the work I've done, the payoff where I feel, wow, I really am becoming more enlightened, more grounded, and there really is something happening with me. But again, this stupid process would go over and over and over and over again. And this sort of culminated into like my worst moment, my worst day, where I was completely suicidal. I had gotten to a point where I really believed that my presence in the lives of my family and friends was a disservice to them. I was actually bad for them because of how unbalanced I actually was. And I found myself in my basement punching my knuckles bloody onto the cement floor. At one time, I launched a folding chair across the room, and it split open one of our main pipes in our basement, and water was just spewing everywhere. And then I felt like a real idiot. I felt like, God, and there was just more confirmation of how much I was screwing up, how much damage I was causing. And I just laid there on the floor. I wanted to die. In fact, what I didn't even share this with my wife. I took like a cord to one of these little fans I had in my basement, and I made a noose out of it. I wasn't really going to kill myself, but I put it around my neck and I pulled, and it felt like good. Like I was like, just do it, man. I just wanted to do it. And then it hit me. Thank God, good timing. But finally, a positive thought crept into my mind, and it said, you don't feel this way when you're in alignment, when you have those glimpses of alignment. And I was like, you're right, I don't. And sometimes it only takes one little positive thought to kind of get you going finally out of your darkness into a good direction. And that's what happened, thank God, because I was in such an unstable and ungrounded state that I don't know, I might have just driven off a cliff or something stupid like that. And I asked myself, I said, what if I could get myself into alignment? What if I could find a way to put myself into alignment? I thought, well, if I could, I would do that every freaking moment of my life. I would like dedicate myself to that. And then I just started getting all these ideas. You know how we get these you get downloads sometimes when you come out of a negative state of being and you feel connected, which I know you've all felt by now, and you just get these like insights, sometimes faster than you can even keep up with. And that's what happened. I got this flooding of insights reminding me, hey, you're a Kundalini yoga instructor. You have experience with bioenergetics. You help people every day come into alignment in the gym. So why not do that yourself? So for about a couple months, experimented with different combinations of routines because I had kind of gotten away from Kundalini Yoga because it is so powerful. It is such a powerful thing, and it would sometimes mess up my chakras and cause too much energy to come through. But I got the idea I was going to balance out, because there were times when I would do Kundalini Yoga that I would come into alignment. But again, it wasn't consistent and it wasn't predictable. So I decided to try to like pair that with deep stillness meditation, which always seemed to sort of settle the Kundalini. And this other really awesome thing called bioenergetics, which I got into, and I would help my personal training clients do it. Because we all harbor emotional baggage, which manifests itself in our body as like unconscious neurotic holding patterns, they call it. These unconscious contractions in our body are there because we're holding on to an emotional wound or trauma. And bioenergetics is a way of sort of like shaking all of that away. You kind of go at these emotional unconscious things opposite of how Freud would with psychoanalysis. You address it through the body. So I combined all that into this morning routine that takes about 20 minutes. And every time, by God, I would feel zooming, just awesome, awesomely connected, just amazing. And I would feel like that for a little while, but then it would wear off. And I would redo it. I would do this program like several times a day in the beginning, but eventually I started to sort of be able to hang on to it longer and longer and longer and longer. And I eventually came up to a plan where I do what I call the long version, which takes about like 20 minutes or so, maybe 25 minutes. And I do that like once or twice a week, where I really put everything into it. And that really deepens this connective state. And then I sort of like top it off like your gas can or something on the other days, and I do a shortened version, about 5 to 10 minutes. And that's enough to kind of sustain me. And what's happened is it's had like a cumulative effect where I become able to get into this state of harmony and being easier and faster, and it's lasting longer. And as a result, my entire life has changed, because as you know, when you're in alignment, your life goes magically. You get to experience the benefits and the ease of your fourth density energies, which are now on the planet, just waiting for you to tap into. And tapping into it means getting into alignment. And when you're in alignment, everything goes awesome. You just happen to run into the right people that tell you the right thing. You have pleasant, pleasing relationship interactions. Your day unfolds with grace and divine timing, and you feel awesome and excited and passionate all the while this is happening. That's the benefit. Your life changes, because when you're in alignment more often, you take action from that perspective of your alignment, and therefore you get to restructure your life. A lot of people are waiting for their life just to kind of change, for them to shift and their life is different. No, your reality bubble is a product of you. And right now it's a mixed bag consisting of action taken, thoughts had, emotions emoted from state of alignment. But a lot of it's being created from your unconscious egoic baggage. But when you can choose to stay in alignment, you get to create your life consistently from this perspective. And that's how you experience these rapid changes, where you become abundant, you become healthy, you become happy. You discover your purpose pretty easily. It's not something you're ever going to figure out. It just comes in, it just pops in. You just start doing it naturally without even putting any real thought into it, because you have such a confidence. A lot of you guys know what your purpose is. It's already kind of there swirling around, but you have too much doubt and fear and anxiety clouding it, making it seem unlikely or implausible. But once you come into your alignment and you learn to live in alignment, you're living in a state of confidence. And you just start to say, I want to do this. I want to do that. And you start doing it. So now I'm going to kind of tell you how this thing works, how this mood shift program works. What is it? Well, it's a combination of the methods I mentioned. It starts with Kundalini Yoga. Kundalini Yoga is going to awaken your Kundalini if it's not already awakened. And if it's already awakened with you, it's going to stimulate more of it, but in a very balanced way. But prior to that, you're going to do something called bioenergetics. And again, I mentioned what that is. It's an emotional therapy that helps you more quickly on a daily basis shake away your ego baggage, rather than waiting for the energies to kind of pull you into circumstances that trigger it. You get to consciously decide, I'm going to get rid of a whole load of it right now, and you do that every day. And it's kind of it's a physical therapy, which I go into. I show you exactly how to do it. It involves a kind of a strange, bizarre way of deep breathing, along with this routine where you do like what's called like a free form dancing, where you just kind of shake and learn how to vibrate your body, and you shake all this stuff away. And that sort of lays the foundation for this Kundalini yoga to happen in a very balanced way, rather than getting bumping into all your baggage, which can like manifest itself and put you in put you off kilter. You know, you're kind of like evening the playing field, raising your Kundalini. So part 2 is where you do the Kundalini yoga routine. You stimulate your Kundalini. Kundalini yoga is a very interesting type of yoga. It's not super hard. If any of you guys think, wow, I haven't done yoga in years, it doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter how old you are, if you're out of shape. It's easy. It's pairing your breathing with certain postures, with a certain intent. And then there's these things called bandy locks, where you contract parts of your body. Like there's one where you contract like your rectum, and you pull your stomach up and in, and you look up into your third eye. You hold it after an exhale. And again, it's about the timing, all these different things playing out at a certain rate, which is real easy to do. It's just about knowing how to do it. And that will raise up your Kundalini energy. And just so you don't walk around too heady, too heightened, because the Kundalini it's so powerful, and it puts you into that state of alignment, but sometimes more than you're ready for. So we always finish off with a particular type of meditation called stillness meditation, where you allow it all to settle. Your Kundalini's there, but you're not like uptight about it. You kind of like this. The meditation makes you able to like house all that energy. So you're like charged up with this Kundalini, you're absent of your baggage from the bioenergetics, and you're serene and cool and collected from the stillness meditation. And that's not it. From there, I'm going to teach you an awesome method called what I call charged visualization, which combines visualization, affirmations, and just dipping into the law of attraction to create your world the way you want. And when you do it, when you perform this charged visualization from the state of being cultivated prior with the Kundalini yoga and the bioenergetics, it is so powerful that I warn you, at the beginning of the video, I warn you, be careful what you ask for. Think deeply about what you want, because when you do it from this state of being, when you're tapped in to the leading edge of the potential consciousness of the planet, and then you send out that signal in a systematic, streamlined way, it will come. Whatever you want is going to wedge its way into your world. And it's important that you understand what you're asking for, okay? Because I started to ask for things that I later came to find out that I don't really want this. And yet it was like coming. It had all this momentum. So you got to be cool. It's that powerful. That's what the Mood Shift program essentially is. That'll get you into alignment. That'll get you into your highest vibrational frequency every single day. It's something anybody can do, whether you don't have to be a fitness person. And I know you hear me reference that I was a personal trainer. You might assume, well, maybe for this young fit guy. No, anybody can do it. It's easy. I even give you different versions of the different movements. And if you're really like a really out of shape beginner, you'll still be just fine. So what you're exactly getting is access to a membership website that I created that has 11 instructional videos, a 30-page PDF, and all of which to teach you this Mood Shift program. It's going to guide you every little step of the way. It's going to make it so you can go from having no experience with any of this to being able to do this perfectly. So again, there's a complete ebook manual that tells you what is this thing, why it works, and how exactly to do it, if you prefer to read. I also have several versions of the actual routine where I do it for you, where I show you. One of them is where I'm commentating with like a microphone during the video. So I'm kind of walking you through it. Another one is silent, where it's just with music, and you can kind of use it in conjunction with the PDF manual and learn it as you go. And then I also go into separate videos about like the charged visualization, the stillness meditation, and so on. So there's all these different like videos that are going to teach you how to do this program, which will change your life. And for a limited time, just because this is like my first time launching this and I'm speaking directly to you guys who are on my email list, I'm gonna give you a heck of a deal. It's gonna be 25% of the regular price, and I'm gonna give you a massive bonus that pretty soon I'm gonna make it its own product. But right now I'm just gonna give it to you guys as a bonus. And what that is, it's an Ascension diet and lifestyle / fitness manual. It's 5 videos that tell you how to eat, how to get really lean and get into like get down to an ideal body weight. Mind you, I was a personal trainer. I've helped thousands of people do this, and they used to pay me good money, over $100 an hour, to teach them what you're going to be getting for free here. There's so much nutrition information out there that most people have no idea what to do. All of it is kind of grounded in some truth, but what I've done is I kind of compiled it in a very straightforward, simple to understand, which it is. Dieting, getting lean, becoming really healthy is not hard. It's just confusing with the amount of stuff out there. I break it down and make it very simple, something anybody can do starting today, and get down to a very ideal, healthy body weight, feel very fit and strong and vital. And if you really want to get like really lean and like ripped and like get like the best shape ever, you can do that, because I tell you exactly how I would get my clients down to like really low body fat percentages. You don't have to like get like that, but it's the information is there if you want. And being healthy, eating healthy, will only make this Mood Shift program work better. It'll only make you feel better, live longer, healthier, more vital. You'll be happier. Everything improves when you become more fit. I think we can all agree to that. And again, I'm giving you 5 training videos for free. So if you find yourself tumbling around with this wild ascension process and you want to finally get some relief, get some balance, start taking charge of your life and making it into what you always knew it would become, but does require your own participation. If you want to get in really good shape, all these things, act now, because pretty soon I'm going to make the price the full price. And again, I'm going to separate the nutrition aspect and make people pay separately for it, because it's such a valuable thing that I'm just giving to you guys. My YouTube channel is growing very quickly. Sometimes I get over 100 subscribers a day. And in no time, I'm going to choose to start to charge what all this stuff is actually worth. But because I'm just starting out, and because I appreciate you guys being like my newer first support group, support and subscribers, I want to hook you guys up really well, because I've communicated with a lot of you personally, and I really like all of you. I feel blessed to have all of you in my life. Okay, so for today only, you can get this for only $47, but you have to act now. Okay, I will talk to you guys next time. Peace. And listen, I know how it is about buying something online. There's a lot of bullshit out there these days, so I don't want you to feel like you're taking a big risk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer you guys a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if for any reason whatsoever you're not totally satisfied with this, it wasn't what you thought it was, you just send me an email and say, hey bud, I want my money back. This wasn't what I wanted, and I'm not going to send you another sales video trying to convince you to change your mind. I'll just say, okay, boom. Okay, so there's no risk. You're just trying it out for 30 days.